Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Here we stand, 4 years into our lifelong Holy Cross expedition. A journey that began with beach ball icebreakers on an oppressively hot move-in day, soon will conclude with the turning of a tassel. To get here, we have invested everything. Countless hours studying and researching, writing and debating. We have invested in each other, building friendships and empathizing with one another's unique lived experiences, despite seeming foreign to our own at times. We have invested financially and emotionally, honing our academic abilities and learning the value of engaging with our local and global communities. But most importantly, we all have invested our true selves here on Mount St. James. The profound value of these investments materialized my junior year in China. While I cherish my moments from abroad, my arrival in China was, let's just say, startling. Imagine the following scene. Having not slept for 24 hours, I sat impatiently in Beijing's airport after being informed I had to wait another 3 hours for my new classmates to fly in from Tokyo and Mexico. When we finally boarded the bus, I immediately fell asleep, but was awakened an hour later to a screaming bus driver who said that we had to get off the bus and walk the rest of the way, of course in Mandarin. At this point, I was so tired I could barely understand English, let alone Mandarin, so I'm still not 100% sure what he said. All I remember was that I was in some sort of deserted village. After lugging my suitcases 1 mile through pouring rain and an ungodly amount of pollution, I finally arrived at my dorm, only to discover an 100-degree dorm room with no air conditioning. As I sat there on my loose-leaf thin mattress, I was sweating, exhausted, and ready to snap. The culture shock began. I desperately asked my new roommate, 你有没有冰水啊? Is there cold water here? Nervously he replied, 没有啊. No, only hot water because of pollution. That was it. I grabbed my phone, texted my parents, I'm not going to make it, I'm coming home tomorrow. However, after a night's sleep and a dose of Ignatian discernment, I gave Beijing a second chance, concentrating on the benefits of investing a semester abroad. That was the best decision I ever made. Amidst exploring and adapting to a new geography, culture, and language, I was simultaneously confronted with the inconvenient reality of finding an internship. While I sharpened my Mandarin, tried delicious foods I'd never heard of, and actively avoided tap water, I fervently networked with the extended Holy Cross family, who also bleed purple. The breadth of advice was invaluable, but one conversation altered my outlook forever. Having read a headline portraying corporate America's leaders as profit-hungry, I asked one alumnus, why should I pursue such a career when the fabric of my education is to be with and for others? To stand in solidarity and not to take. He paused and then opened my eyes, saying, Michael, discern before you act. Holy Cross alumni inevitably rise to the top. When making decisions impacting the global economy, we need more senior leaders thinking through the lens of the marginalized. If this is your calling, redefine the utility of wealth to effect meaningful change. This seemingly small moment in my scorching dorm inspired me to participate in the 5-day silent retreat. This retreat, although incredibly challenging for my overly outgoing personality, enabled me to listen, to discern, and to invest silently in my relationship with God. Suddenly, my call became clear: to serve as a leader advocating justice over excessive profit. I learned that regardless of our post-college paths, each of us must act as a beacon of light on our individual journeys. Through immersion trips or Pax Christi, Spud, or working for Worcester, our endeavors revealed that investing in others is the root from which joy sprouts. Let me repeat that. Investing in others is the root from which joy sprouts. We must unleash the passion nurtured on campus to brighten a world ever in need of more light. Yes, the world needs our minds, but more importantly, it needs our heart of hearts. We cannot afford to shield ourselves from those with whom we differ. Instead, let's embrace our diversity as the vehicle through which to invest in one another, to create productive dialogues and spur change. Let roadblocks at our new horizons, each one, serve as new learning opportunities. Look, we all face hurdles. Whether it was in Stein or Smith Labs, Bevan or Beijing, Holy Cross pushed us beyond our self-constructed limits, rendering us uncomfortable at times. But it was through these moments that we underwent immense personal growth. Psalms 30 verse 5 reminds us, though weeping may endure for a night, joy comes in the morning. My fellow classmates, morning came when the chaotic final exams planted the seeds for our intellectual blossoming. Morning came when the late nights prepping for games, rehearsing for concerts, and planning rallies for social justice fueled our passionate millennial engines and propelled our curiosity to new heights. Morning came when failure equipped us with the boundless resolve needed to get back up and hit harder. As we gather here today, one thing is crystal clear. Morning has come. Our time at the cross will undoubtedly be threaded throughout our lives, both as the catalyst for our future and touchstone for our past. We will hearken back not only with nostalgia, but with the certainty that we were here for a reason. Our friends, professors, and mentors have individually invested in each and every one of us. But the compounding effect when we invest together is greater than merely the sum of our individual parts. So now we must ask ourselves, are we ready to echo Pedro Rupe's call to be trailblazers for justice, to lead lives of moral integrity, to respond boldly to life's unpredictable challenges, and to invest in our world for God? The time is now. Who's ready? Thank you. And as my grandfather from the class of 1960 would say, go Cross, go.